is Eric Diekman. I am a business consultant here at ProValTech. Today, I'm going to go over just kind of a down and dirty way to clean up your purchasing and procurement if you're getting ready to start using it or are considering using it. Please click the like and subscribe button in the bottom right corner so you never have to miss out on any one of our videos. So let's get into it. So a lot of times what happens is people that have been using the PSA system just never touched purchasing. They never did it. They didn't have any reason to. They're looking to do it, and so they now have decided they want to start creating purchase orders and start using some of the benefit of using that procurement section. Now we only have a small amount of products in here in our database, but you may have something that looks like this times 10, 20. I've seen that people have used systems for years can have upwards of thousands of items in here. Unfortunately, there is no real great way to clean it out in a quick way, but I'm going to show you a couple of quick little tips and tricks in terms of ways in which you can clean it out. Now, the most obvious, the most easiest way would actually be coming in here. Let's say we had a whole bunch of products. What I can do is I can come in here and I can create a purchase order, and I can create that PO to, let's say, our internal company. So in this case, we're going to choose, I have to change my drop down here. It's looking for vendors. That's all. I'm going to change this, and I'm going to go and say, I'm going to create some to our internal company just to get rid of it. So I could come in here, I can create this purchase order, and you'll see that it is tied to it, and that clears out my system. I'm then going to have to come in here. I do have to receive the products, and then I would have to go over here and I would pick them and ship them. So that's definitely one way in which to do it. You can't have special order or drop ship products on the same purchase order, but outside of that, that would be an easier way to kind of clean it up and get that ready. So, but for demonstration purposes, I'm also going to show another a little trick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of jump ahead in the process, and I'm going to go into our product pick and ship. Now, to be fair, this is one of the commonly most overlooked areas, and we're not actually looking at the not picked. We're going to go look at the not shipped screen. So the first thing I'm going to do to make this easier is I'm going to take my product class, and I'm going to take that and I'm going to move that all the way over here. Now, by default, it's set to inventory, which in a lot of cases we may not have anything that's in inventory, so I'm going to change that to all. So what you're going to notice is those products then appear in over here. Now, the other thing now, it's not going to potentially apply in our scenario right now, but it may apply in yours, is I'm going to take this column invoice number and then also invoice date, and I'm going to move these over. So in some cases, your system, you may have actually been using this system, so you have invoice for a lot of these products and you've kind of cleared them out already just by the fact that you've completed the work that you've done on them. So what you can do is you can sort by invoice number or invoice dates, and you can see we do have one in here, right? So that's perfect. But what I really want to pay attention to is the fact that these are non-inventory class items. Now, this again does take a little bit of time, but what I can do in here now is I can actually come in here and I can select this, and then I can um, ship the products out. So let me just do it with one of these just for example right here. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to ship this product out. We're going to say yes on that. It's going to ask me for my warehouse and my default PIN. I'm just going to hit save and close on that. That has now been removed from the screen. Now what you'll notice is if I come back into my purchasing, I'm going to keep both of these screens open at the same time. When I come back into this purchasing screen, you'll notice that one of my items have now decremented, right? So this is another way to kind of get that out, and it makes it easy too. Now, the only way you can't do this is if they are inventory class items. Inventory class items, you will have to go through the steps that we did here. Now, this as a high level is one of the biggest areas that people forget about when they're trying to get their system ready and when they're trying to do continuous maintenance on their system, which is the pick and ship screen. The picking in regards to inventory, if we have items in inventory, we do not pick and ship them, then that stays in the count and it does not ever justify our inventory. So in other words, if I have 10, I attach 2 to an order. Without picking and shipping, it's still going to show that I have 10. That picking and shipping brings it down to 8. Um, Now, in the non-inventory class, it's really a matter of just kind of cleaning stuff up and kind of keeping your system clean. So in here, what I can do is I can come in here and then I can pick these and I can ship all these out. So that's the other way in which to send those over. Now, just because I want to show it from a demonstration standpoint, I'm going to go back to that purchasing screen. And I'm going to say, you know what, we're going to create two of these things here into a purchase order, because what I want to show you is how you can clear these purchase orders out even by doing it this way, right? Because the other fear that comes in is, well, if we start syncing with our accounting package, won't that purchase order come over as an item receipt, and won't it potentially mess up our receivables over on that side? So the short answer is no, because we can actually prevent it from going over. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in, and I'm just kind of going through these steps a little bit quicker than I normally would if we were doing the purchasing. And that's just because I'm clearing this screen out. So I'm going to receive those products. Perfect. I've received those products. Now, as I was mentioning, I do want to go into our pick and ship screen, and I'm going to come in here, and they are still going to be not shipped. The difference will be is, and this is actually another good field to kind of have you over, is I'm going to take this PO info number, and I'm going to bring this over onto this side of the screen as well, so I can see what have I actually created purchase orders for. Because again, the assumption is if I do have a purchase order, then hopefully it's going to make it a little bit easier to kind of clear some of these items out. So on here, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish my items here. I'm going to ship these products. So now that I've shipped that out, that's cleared out of here. And it does go onto the ship screen, but that's not going to affect any of our reports. Now, when I go into finance, I'm going to go into the accounting interface. And this is kind of the last piece, if you will, that's going to kind of make sure that we don't send any unwanted information over to an accounting package. I'm going to come into our unposted procurement, and what you're going to see is here are the slips that would have gone over based on those purchase orders that I created. So all I have to do is come in here and click remove records, and I'm going to put in a batch ID. I'm going to put in today's date, and then I'm going to say test. So we know that we were just testing on these purchase orders, and then I'm going to hit save. And now what we've done is we've taken that out, so we don't have to worry about any of those unwanted packing slips going over and affecting our receivables in our accounting package. So again, it is a little time consuming. We only have a few items in here, right? So we still have our not shipped items. I walk through with the purchase order, but what we would do is we would come in here. I'm going to select all of this at once. I'm going to say ship the products. Now, I do have to kind of have a little bit of timing to this. It's not something where I can just really click really quickly. I do have to give it a second for the system to process. I'll hit save and next. It fills those in again. Save and next, fills them in again. Save and close. Those items have been removed. Now, if I go back to my purchasing screen and I go back to purchasing, then you're going to see we don't have anything left, and now my system is ready. So ultimately, the goal would be to get down to your live items, right? Because this is a test database, but if you were using your system, there's going to be items that do need to actually purchase. So you do want to kind of whittle those down, clean that up so that you're working with exactly what you want to be working with to be able to follow it through that flow through the purchase order and getting those products either delivered in-house or drop shipped out to your client. That's just a quick way, some tips and tricks on how to clean up your system getting ready for purchasing. Please, if you have questions, comments, or any suggestions, please respond below in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.